Welcome back to the FloTrack podcast, an emergency FloTrack podcast. 4 hours after we last recorded in this exact spot, the meet's been called off. Not only has the indoor championships been canceled, the outdoor championships as well. Things escalated very quickly with a series of events, but the track is basically empty now. When we last went and spoke to you guys, we were discussing how it seemed like a normal pre-meet. But things quickly changed. Talked to a lot of the coaches, obviously a lot of disappointment throughout the track and field community here. Gordon, how are you feeling? We were on a plane this morning, and now the meet's over.
It is wild. Our colleague, Lincoln Shrike, who is not here, it was going to be a three-man team here in Albuquerque. Literally at, 7 in the morning, he texts us saying, I'm not coming, I'm out, And now the whole meet is over. I mean, we thought this was going to be like only Harvard wasn't going to be here, and we're all be like, why didn't Harvard show up? And now it is crazy. I think we should just go through the timeline, though, of how this all unfolded. It was literally like a snowball effect, and it just got bigger and bigger until the final thing dropped, and we were all like, all right, it's over.
Well, obviously, you could start with Harvard.
Okay, start with Harvard, yeah.
We could start with Harvard yesterday. Right, then you had
whatever. 2 days. It wasn't 2. Oh, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Good article on them on the site by Johanna Greshel that you guys should read if you haven't. Then there was obviously the stuff that happened in the NBA last night, not part of track and field, but I think obviously influenced it. This morning, the conference tournaments for basketball get canceled. No spectators.
Was announced when we landed.
Right, exactly. No spectators at all. Then we get here, we hear the ACC.
Well, no, hold on. We get here, and it is completely
normal. Yeah, sorry. Skipped a step.
There's so many athletes here. They're all warming up. Teams are here. They're all getting ready to go. It is like a normal track meet. All the coaches are just assuming everything is normal, and it clearly wasn't. Because
we recorded a podcast.
We recorded a podcast. Normal. And then the first big thing, it's ball drop?
Ball to drop, yes.
First ball that dropped was ACC.
Yeah, so ACC pulls out. Big Ten pulled out shortly after them. Now, the SEC had a policy in place of, hey, if you're already at a championship, you can stay there. But once you get back, everything's canceled through basically the rest of the month.
And ACC was weird, too. Like Florida State, they had to all go home to Florida State campus, quarantine themselves at Florida State campus for 12 days, and then they could go. It was like they had to fly back to Florida State to be quarantined.
Yeah, there's a whole other dimension here when you talk about just these institutions operating as like academic centers as well too.
So ACC, Big Ten,
right?
And we thought like, oh, that's gonna suck. And then we're like, wait, no Oliver Hoare, wait, no Alicia Monson, wait, the Notre Dame DMR won't get to run.
I think at that point the prevailing sentiment was. Then I started wandering around talking to all the other coaches. At that point, it was just a matter of when. It was not a matter of if. Pac-12, they put out a statement about basketball, but nothing about track and field. It was, hey, institution by institution. UCLA then said they were out. UW left the track and was out. And then obviously at that point it was pretty clear where things were headed. The press conference got canceled, and then it was 2:17 local time here when the NCAA said all winter and spring championships have been canceled.
I was with I was near the Kentucky coach, and we were making a joke about how this is going to become an SEC invitational.
Yeah.
Because all the other teams were leaving. And he was like, we're still ready to go. And then literally, I walked away from that conversation. 10 seconds later, I see the tweet, and I turn back, it's canceled. And he was like, just like.
I think some people were prepared for this meet to be canceled. I think a lot of people were prepared for this meet to be canceled. I don't think a lot of the programs were prepared for spring to be canceled. Yes. And I think that's what really hit people hard. And when you watch the interviews and you hear coaches discuss that about how disappointed they are, how gutted they are for their teams and their programs, it just doesn't go, it goes beyond just this meet in Albuquerque. It's, well, what's going to happen when we get back to our campus? All these meets have been canceled. Outdoors been canceled. We talked about Stanford Invitational being canceled as well too. Like, outdoor season is essentially gone. on the collegiate level.
There's no need for the Texas relays anymore. There's no need for Florida relays. There's no need for. There's no more conference championships. All the conferences are done, and if there's no NCAAs, why? There's no point of having any NCAA collegiate type track meet.
Yeah.
And that also means there's very likely to be no high school track meet. And if there's no high school, no college, the pros, they're not going to have anywhere to run. Yeah. There's no Peyton Jordan now. Like,
We were talking.
I mean, we don't know if there's no Peyton Jordan, but I'm assuming there's no Peyton Jordan.
We were talking to a lot of coaches, and we were floating the Olympics thing. And
Yeah,
a
so
lot like
it's all dominoing.
yeah, exactly. And how they felt about it 24 hours ago versus now is drastically different when it comes to the Olympics. I talked to one coach, and he basically said, this coach said, when Rudy Gobert had it, that was it.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing that
was a domino.
And at that point, they were planning for this thing to be canceled, at least from a team standpoint.